Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Mr. Blue podcast. I am your host, Blu-rayDave, and it's been a little while since the last podcast. Man, I was on a good streak with that. Seriously, guys, let me know in the comments what you think. So you guys already read the title. We're gonna get into it. I know I've talked about this a couple times in the channel, but I figured, why not just make it its own separate episode, right? A good podcast discussion, right? And I know it's very controversial, but it makes a lot of sense, right? So, whenever this video comes out, the question of the day is it okay to talk about the MCU now? And the short answer to that is yes. Because back in the good old days of the MCU, specifically the Phase 3 days, when most of us knew what the MCU was, we couldn't really talk anything bad about Marvel, right? Like, movies, TV shows, you name it. Man, they were putting a lot of, good content out, And we all loved every single one of the Marvel movies, right? Because they were Marvel, right? Nowadays, I know a lot of people, especially myself, we still like them, genuinely like them, remembering the good old times, right? Although I do consider this, just bear with me, guys. Back in 2019, I consider Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, and Spider-Man Far From Home the mediocre trilogy. I like to call it that because it pretty much foreshadowed what was to come, like mediocrity, after the Infinity Saga. And believe me, guys, that slate for the MCU, that summer 2019, man, that was a big deal. Like, we were all excited for that, Still, it felt like rushed to get the next phase out because, I'm pretty sure there's still quite a few people out there, expect more Marvel. Like, I get it. I was looking forward to seeing Black Widow in 2020 and the first 3 Disney Plus shows, but you know what? I'm happy that we took a year off because it kind of felt like the old days of Phase 1 of the MCU because, Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk were the first 2 Marvel Studios films to come out. Nothing came out in 2009, and then 2010 we got Iron Man 2. Seriously though, it is okay to talk about the MCU now because it definitely had a lot of lows in the last 4 years. If not counting 6, again, the last 3 films of the Infinity Saga, right? We all thought things were still going great for the MCU, starting with WandaVision, right? And that is true. WandaVision was a hit. The Falcon the Winter Soldier was a hit. Loki Season 1 was pretty much overhyped. I still consider Season 2, the better, the best season of that, and I really hope they continue it. Seriously, that show needs to be, the new Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. of the MCU, because you know how the MCU, or the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. acknowledged, yes, the entirety of the MCU, but the MCU didn't, the movies didn't acknowledge the show. But then again, it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? They're meant to be secret, The Avengers can't really know that S.H.I.E.L.D's still around. Well, at least until, Age of Ultron, it kind of came back, At least, with Loki, they know the entirety of the MCU, right? And of course, the Sacred Timeline and other multiverses, they're not aware of the TVA, and that's fine. And I think the TVA plays a very important part in the MCU, Yeah. And, I think 2021, 2022, people were kind of speculating, on theorizing, is there such a thing as superhero fatigue? And of course the short answer to that is no. There is no superhero fatigue. There is bad fatigue, and I was just burnt out, with the amount of content in general besides Marvel. I had Star Wars to watch too, right? And a couple other TV shows. I was happy between shows in 2022, whenever we were waiting for the next Disney Plus show to come out, like, we had the Defender saga to watch, right? And it took me, kind of a long time to start watching it, right? And then a year after, I finally got around to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and rewatching Agent Carter and then Inhumans. I still gotta watch Runaways. I have an Amazon Prime account. I still need to watch Cloak and Dagger. It looks good. Like, honestly, I hope those characters come back, even though I haven't seen it yet. I am looking forward to Spider-Man Noir. Seriously though, like, yeah, back in the day, everyone would talk about Marvel, because Marvel is still king, guys, believe it or not. Like, it's taken over the world. Like, yes, even the TV shows, like, all of them, we're talking all the TV shows, like, people would talk about them, like, again, for example, like, take Iron Fist. When that came out, people were saying, like, oh, yeah, me and my family would watch, like, all the Marvel stuff, right? And this was a time before Disney bought Fox, so you had the X-Men, right? So that still counts as Marvel. And of course, Deadpool, everyone was talking about Deadpool, right? Nothing really, like, Sony-related came out, like, outside of the MCU. Like, of course, you had Tom Holland's Spider-Man that was part of the MCU, right? And people would still talk about that, right? There is a few people that I know who haven't really watched The Incredible Hulk or haven't seen the Tom Holland movies, but they have seen him in the Avengers movies, right? But I really do hate it when people say, like, oh, the Hulk doesn't work solo, really, like, he works in team-up movies, right? Like, I really do hope that World War Hulk becomes a reality, so people would shut up about, like, how Hulk is bad at the box office, like, and unfortunately revisionist history is a thing, and whatever anything bad from the MCU comes out now, people they will always claim, oh, like, the old movies, they were good back in the good old days of the MCU, like, no, they're not. Like, okay, I believe they were good, like, when I was watching them. But, like, for the people who are saying that, like, you didn't like them at first. Like, oh, now you like Thor the Dark World more than Thor Love and Thunder, right? Or you actually love the Incredible Hulk more than Professor Hulk. Like, took you long enough. At least Savage Hulk will be coming back for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like, honestly, I hope revisionist history doesn't continue with the soft reboot of the MCU going forward. Like, let's say, like, a new Thor film comes out, say, like, that one's bad, and people are going to be like, oh, Thor Love and Thunder was, like, better. Like, no. Even, like, when a new MCU fan comes in the picture, that even they're going to agree, like, Love and Thunder was bad. Phase 4, it was pretty much, like, focused on the memes, right? Like, every film you watch, it was just the memes, like, and it shows hard, Seriously, I hope that a lot of people watched Hawkeye. Like, that is genuinely a good Disney Plus series, and I hope Jeremy Renner can come back for season 2. Like, he's been recovering for 2 years, and hopefully that got the haters' attention to, like, respect the character more now, and Jeremy Renner, really. Yeah. And honestly, though, Black Widow, guys, like, when I was marathoning for Thunderbolts, when I rewatched it, I was just bored out of my mind. Like, I think this was, like, the third time I watched it. Like, I couldn't help but just, be bored. That's just me, because we've had such a beloved character in the MCU for a long time, and the fact, like, she's had her solo film now, like, it's too late. Like, all the reports were saying, like, oh, this movie is supposed to be rated R, supposed to show her origin story. Isn't she supposed to get a trilogy in the MCU? Like, Disney, we need a proper Black Widow origin story, really, right? And it wasn't really her movie. Like, everyone else took the spotlight. Everyone was great. But as you notice through the movies with ScarJo over the years, like, well, with Black Widow, it's the makeup artists and whatever, like, you realize like the hotness of Black Widow just declines. You know, that's what all of us cared about, really. Like, oh, Black Widow, she's hot, you know. I think her hotness declined, like, after Winter Soldier. Like, Winter Soldier is just, like, when she was done. Age of Ultron, like, even she had a terrible character development. I'm sorry, guys, I can't speak. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, in Joss Whedon, he's making her look out like, she's, you know, trying to get with the boys in the Avengers, right? Well, I don't know what his plans were in the Avengers when she was with Hawkeye. Like maybe he knew that Hawkeye had a family and they were trying to have like the brother sister dynamic, but she was flirting with everybody. Like, nobody asked for Bruce Banner, Natasha Romanoff like relationship. That wasn't a thing in the comics. Like, have her and Steve be a thing, you know? Yeah, just wasted potential, you know? Who knows where her character's gonna go forward in the multiverse? You know, like in Secret Wars and all that. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions about that for sure. Kevin Feige did confirm, like, he was in talks with Pixar. They want to make, like, PG-13 MCU Pixar movies. Like, tell stories in between the movies, like what they couldn't tell before. I think a perfect movie they can tell in animation is with Daredevil and Black Widow. Like, they've done things in the comics, you know. I would love to see that happen. Like, if they can't do it in live action. Again, Marvel animation is a thing now. You know, I'm not saying give them their own series like Marvel Animations or Marvel Television's Daredevil and Black Widow, right? Like, just if you can work a story with those two, like between the movies, like that would be great. You know, that would make a lot of our dreams come true. You know, because you know Charlie Cox is the Manskys. Like, seriously, like Charlie Cox, you know, Daredevil's like the backbone of the MCU now. Like, all this hype for Daredevil was just insane, you know. When he made his first on-screen appearance in the MCU, like in No Way Home, like, oh man, that was a big deal. Like, sure, I did not watch the entirety of the show back in the day, but when he came on screen, I was just impressed. I was like, hey, I know him. He's Daredevil, right? Of course, like, I knew who the Kingpin was when, you know, when he popped up in Hawkeye, right? Like, man, that is pretty cool. Like, they're bringing, you know, old TV show characters back, you know, like, again, that is a big deal, you know. And of course, the Marvel Netflix shows, you know, those shows saved Netflix. Again, deny it all you want, but, like, they saved Netflix, and I've said this many times, too, before, and I'll keep saying it until the day I die. Even though Marvel's Daredevil has left Netflix, that show still remains the number one Netflix series, period, okay? Again, you can deny it all you want, but Daredevil literally saved Netflix, so yeah. Born Again, the first season was pretty much it was a rough start, just like the original first season of the series. But more rougher this time, but that's okay, you know, it can always improve. I wanted to bring this up too, guys. I need you to listen to me very carefully when I say this, and of course this is like Daredevil. Why are you guys now demanding, oh, Daredevil now, he needs to be all by himself, he can't team up with other heroes? Like, guys, ever since the show ever came out, you guys, now I'm not talking about my subscribers, I'm talking about people in general, like, you guys have been begging and demanding for, like, all these characters to cross over, like, in the movies, right? And there were some speculations that Charlie Cox might be in Civil War, like, but it was true, he said, like, if he was in that movie, they would already be in the, production stage of that movie, and that was, like, back in 2015. Hey, that would have been cool. Would love to see him on Team Cap. So for years, you clowns, you've been begging and demanding for Marvel to put these characters into the movies, and now that's become reality. Like, now we're not going to get that anymore, thanks to you haters at this point, you know. Well, hopefully we'll still get one season of Daredevil every year, and I really do want him to pop up in the movies. You know, we're going to get the Punisher on the big screen, you know, so you know, we still need that Spider-Man and Daredevil crossover, you know. Like, I had no idea that Spider-Man's theme popped up at the season finale of Born Again. Like, oh wow, like, how did they get away with that, you know? Like, how was Sony letting them get away with that? Because it sucks that in Tom Holland's contract that he can't make a Disney Plus appearance, like, only, like, cartoon appearances, but not Tom Holland. Like, they have to have a different guy. Who knows? Maybe Sony can let Tom break that contract and have him appear in Born Again Season 2, or at least, like, have, you know, Charlie Cox come back as Daredevil in Brand New Day, you know, like, that needs to happen. So we need to have that dynamic duo. Seriously. And hopefully they'll shut the haters up, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, a lot of Disney Plus characters have popped up on film, and they have proved time and time and again that, like, it can work. And again, like, with movie characters, they can be in Disney Plus series. Like, again, the Falcon, the Winter Soldier, you know, two well-respected characters. Like, they've got their own Disney Plus series, right? Again, like, the argument could go on and on. I would love to see a long paragraph in the comments from a hater who would justify, like, why it is wrong to have a TV character in a movie and have a movie character in a TV show. Like, wow, you guys love to contradict yourselves, huh? And basically hypocrites at this point, so I'm calling you all out, alright? Thanks for ruining our dreams, you know? Yeah, we'll see how Frank Castle does in Brand New Day. You know what, I have no doubt, like, he's gonna, you know, deliver, you know, like, you could still have, like, a family-friendly Punisher and that can still work. Oh, but watch, there's gonna be that one person who's gonna be like, oh, the Punisher doesn't work as family-friendly because you need to have him, like, brood and gritty and all that. Like, seriously, you can work Punisher in a PG setting, you know? Like, come on, guys. Same with Daredevil, you know? He was funny in the comics, like, in his first appearance, but then when Frank Miller reinvented the character, like, he's more of a tragic character like Batman, because, again, Frank Miller reinvented Batman and Daredevil, but, like, you could still have Daredevil as a tragic and comedic character, you know? Like, in She-Hulk. That was a perfect experiment. Like, have Daredevil, you know, react to She-Hulk, you know? And the costume worked. The condiment suit worked. Like, hopefully they'll bring it back, you know? I love that suit. I was told that there's rumors right now that we might get a Marvel Legends figure of that suit. Like, I hope that's true. I hope that's true. Like, that would be a dream. Oh, man. Oh, Daredevil is my life, guys. Like, you have no idea. Looks like Marvel Spotlight's no longer going to be a thing. Marvel's Echo was the only series to get it. That's it. Marvel special presentation. We've had two. I think the Punisher special will be that too. The only special presentations we've had for Disney Plus was Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. So, again, it can work like that. Like, give us like a 45, maybe 50-minute like special like that, and see, like, it, like, test if it could test well with us, the audience, right? If it works, like, then cool, you know. I like the Guardians holiday special more than the Werewolf by Night. And of course, when it comes to Marvel, physical media is a big deal, and I'm happy that 2 years ago 2 summers ago when Disney announced that they were releasing the steelbooks, and when we got, WandaVision and Loki season 1, that was a big deal. Like, I didn't care how we got them, just as long as, like, we got them physically, and they are supposed to release them at the standard Blu-ray case format at some point, right? The last wave we had was literally at Christmas, so we're long overdue with Disney. Like, how long? How long has it been since? Because the first wave, they were just releasing them by a couple months. Like Loki was released first, then WandaVision, and then Mando seasons 1 and 2 came out at the same time, and then 3, maybe 6 months later, you had Wave 2, and again, give another 6 months, Wave 3 comes out. Like, man, I was lucky I got caught up with that. Like, I bought all of those at the same time. Now I'm ready. I'm ready again. Again, I made my videos, made my statements on how Disney should release the next waves of Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm. I'm sure they have more ideas in the pipeline. If anybody knows anything, please let me know. That would be awesome. Man, I still love the Hawkeye steelbook. Like, it is just so cool. It is so cool. Like, again, that was a perfect time, like, for those to come out for the holidays. Like, man, yeah, I'm ready. I'm so ready. But yeah, Marvel is starting to get back on its feet again, guys. Like, trust me when I say this. 2023 is when Phase 5 started, like, things were starting to get back on track. I will still never understand why a lot of people hate Quantumania. Like, it is good. Like, guys, don't you expect in a franchise to be, like, a movie and a sequel to be different from the others, right? Like, sure, the Ant-Man movies have always been known as, like, family movies, and that's fine. And it still counts as a family movie, but you can still have a different take on it, right? And, of course, Secret Invasion was bad. I can admit that, But still, it would be nice to own a physical copy. Again, depending on the canon status, that is. Whatever Marvel wants to do. Even so, when you're still trying to build back up, you're still going to have some downs, right? Like the Marvels, for example. The story was flat. It could have been better. I did not expect it to be funny, but it was just downright bad. I know the reasons behind Captain America: Brave New World. All I can say is that, and I've said this too, just release it the way that you intended it to be, and then we'll just move on, right? Again, I understand the reasons, but, we're moving on, right? And the fact that we're getting, mature content in the MCU, this isn't our first time, again, the Marvel Netflix shows, right? With Deadpool and Wolverine being the first R-rated MCU movie, again, that is a big deal, right? That is a big deal. Can't wait for Blade, can't wait for the Midnight Suns. Hopefully they'll, introduce the Dark Avengers, right? Because the Dark Avengers, they're pretty shady, Yeah, they should, like, introduce the Marvel Knights in there. We got the characters, or at least if they can make, like, a Marvel Knight movie and make that R-rated and bring in all those characters, like, cool. And I have no problem with that. And some Marvel animation has been choppy, like, what do you call, like, Spider-Man freshman year. Well, it's not called that anymore, right? It's called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, it could do some work. Definitely loved X-Men 97. Glad I watched the original show before I watched the sequel. What If season 1 was good? The other two weren't that good. There were a couple episodes in those seasons that were good, but like just yeah, the rest were just bad. At least Marvel did say they were going to take a break from that series, you know. I don't like it how they were making like a consistent story with that, you know, like just make each episode like isolated, you know, and they did that for the most part, but it's just that was just a big no-no, making a consistent story. Eyes of Wakanda was good, guys. I don't know why it was a 4-episode series. Like, I find myself watching, like, wanting to watch the next episode, right? And it is a full circle moment with the last episode, if you haven't seen it. It has to, like, it's connected to, obviously, the Black Panther movie, so if you haven't watched it, go check it out. Like, the animation is so cool, it's so different, you know? It feels like I'm watching, like, a Disney movie, you know, that I generally want to watch, you know? So we got that. Seriously, Fantastic Four was good. I really don't understand why it bombed at the box office, you know, like, it had a good story, the characters were great. I mean, yes, Disney did screw themselves. They screwed themselves over, they screwed us, the fans, but hey, like, again, Disney, just be grateful that I'm one of those fans that I still want to watch, you know, Marvel, you know, because, you know, some of them were pretty good. Again, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Deadpool and Wolverine, Guardians 3, you know, and again, Daredevil Born Again was good. Who knows, maybe with Spider-Man brand new, because it's the thing I've been keeping my eye out on, guys, like, whatever Marvel comes out, like, because again, you had Disney's Marvel and Sony's Marvel. A lot of people now, they won't watch Disney's Marvel as much, but they'll watch Sony's Marvel. Like, I've watched them all, and I genuinely like them, guys. Like, they're not as good as the Disney films, but hey, they were pretty good. So, of course, it's Spider-Man. Again, people are going to watch it, and we'll see how Doomsday and Secret Wars goes, you know? I mean, it's Avengers, for crying out loud. They're going to be smash hits, and the fact, like, they're going to be Christmas releases, like, that is a huge deal. Because Star Wars is taking up the slots before Avatar's taking up the slots, and with Avengers, you know, it's what do you call it, like a brand new pace, I think. And there's so much I could talk about here, guys. I hate the fact that people keep saying, like, oh, Agatha all along is like the best Disney Plus show. In reality, it's not. I watched the whole show, and again, I couldn't help but be bored. Like, how can freaking witchcraft be so boring? Because witchcraft is not interesting. I never found witchcraft interesting, and I never will, you know? No matter how many times you try to convince me, like, it's just boring, you know? I had my chin on my hand the whole time, just like, okay, can we move on to the next thing? Like, I was really hoping, like, with Billy's character, like, Disney will not go woke with his character, you know, but just do not introduce Hulkling, you know, and kill off Billy in the Avengers films and we can move on, right? I didn't even like, you know, like the Maximoff twins in the beginning when they introduced them in WandaVision, you know. It's pretty crazy how they brought back Evan Peters, you know, but then he turned out to be a guy named Ralph Boner. Boner. That was pretty funny. YouTube, take a joke. It's so weird, guys. I don't know if you had this weird feeling with Wanda in Civil War. Just bear with me on this. When it came to Civil War, to me, Wanda, she didn't feel like a Fox character. She felt like a full-line Disney character. Like, Disney had the full rights to her. Remember, this was a year before they bought Fox, because Fox owned X-Men, right? And of course, X-Men is a big deal. Like, Disney needs X-Men to also save the brand, So I'm happy to hear that X-Men will be the first new like reboot to start, Phase 7, right? And the director of Thunderbolts, he's gonna, direct that film. And the way he made Thunderbolts was perfect, and it gives like a good concept of what the new X-Men movie should be. And of course, Hugh Jackman, you gotta love Hugh Jackman, man. Like, he's gonna be doing this till he's 90. I'm happy to hear that Ryan Reynolds is still gonna stick around as Deadpool. I don't think he's going anywhere. As long as he has his production company, still making the Deadpool franchise, really, then cool. Man, the future looks bright for Marvel. So, yeah. Again, is it okay to talk about Marvel now? Absolutely, guys. You can talk about Marvel however you like. However you felt about it back in the day, how you feel about it now. Again, all of us Marvel fans, we're going to have different opinions, but at least like at the end of the day, we're going to respect each other's opinions. Of course, I did not want to leave this out. There are going to be like those Marvel tier lists, and of course, there are going to be some titles that we do not agree with, like what goes up in the S tier or F tier, D tier. Like, oh man. I should do that for a video. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you want me to do that for a video. Like, oh man, I would piss a lot of people off, but again, it's just my take, It would be my take. Like, that's what I love about the Marvel Universe, is that people have different takes, different opinions on the MCU. Of course, not everything's going to be for everyone. In fact, the MCU is not for everyone either, It's not their cup of tea, and I can respect that, Because, again, I'm happy we're in an era now where, again, it's okay to talk about Marvel, and whatever you have to say about it, we can respect it, and why people can't get into it, because, again, it does feel like homework, especially with the Disney Plus series. In Phase 4, it felt like it was more about the shows and the movies, Because, again, as much as like people were talking about the shows back in the day, people cared about the movies more than the TV shows. And yet, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was still popular. That's crazy, but it's a very divisive show. Yeah. I mean, how crazy would it be if they were to bring it back, Who knows? At this point. So, those are my takes on Marvel, guys. Again, I'm not expecting you guys to, agree with my opinions on it. Again, you guys have your own, and of course I'll respect them, Again, in general, I just love how people, they make a paragraph in the comments, like, whatever it is that they like, and, like, they give their reasons for it, and that's awesome. That is awesome, guys. And I want to keep that going with the fan base, However you feel about Marvel, it's okay. We're not going to judge. We're not going to attack you. We're going to respect you, okay? And whatever is your top 5, maybe top 10 Marvel movies, we'll understand. Again, we might not, agree with what the titles anyone has picked, but again, we'll respect your opinions on that, okay? Okay, that is my cat making noises in the background. Alright, it's okay, bud. Daddy's gonna finish up. Alright, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please turn the post notification bell and share my content if you haven't already. And it just feels so good getting back into the podcast swing of things. Like, as long as I come up with stuff that I want to talk about. I know it's been Marvel, but you know what? Like, at least I get it out of my system when I talk about it with you guys, and I love hearing your feedback on it. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, bye, and Avengers Assemble. All right, good night, guys.